pass the mic over. Hello. So this is a game that I made, and Van's going to be live scoring while you guys play. It's basically just a little sandbox game, play around. There's different levels and stuff. We have jump with space, WASD, move around, and shoot and interact with your mouse buttons. But yeah, I hope you have fun. It's very much just like a weird movement physics game. Yeah. Oh, keyboard and mouse is right there, so whoever wants to go ahead and start, they may go.
I'd said a word, not one. It was Argonaut made me speak up. Arthur ran for meds, so we meet in Plaza Station. It was after Brex wants to talk. Out here, he says, let's in. We go. There we were. This Harris, he says, is for chicks. Come on over. We see that there's no soul in the street because of the heat. No cars, nothing. Same when it's been cold, not a soul street. I remember that it was him at one time. The people in Paris all look busy when they actually do roam around morning to night. It is because the weather isn't worth walking around when it's too cold or too hot. You see them anymore. They're all indoors, drinking coffee, bread, their beer. And that's the century of seed, they call it. Where? Great bridges, they say. For instance, thing has changed.
Go on admiring themselves. And that's not words. Even the words have changed much. 2 or 3 little ones here and there. We sat with the ladies in the bay. After a while, the conversation returned to President Poincaré, who was due to inaugurate a metro that same morning, and that led to Le Temps, where I'd read about it. Arthur Button starts kidding me about Le Temps. What a baby, he says. When it comes bending the French race, it hasn't its equal. And quick to show I'm well informed, I fire back. The French race can do this if the bending cease to exist. Oh yes, it does, he says. And a fine race it is. The finest in the world, and anybody who says different is a yellow dog. And he starts slanging me. Naturally, I stuck to my guns. It's not true. What you call a race, nothing but a collection of riffraff like me. Bleary-eyed, flea-bitten, chilled to the bone. Take from the 4 corners of the earth, driven by hunger, blood tumors, and the cold, and stop here. Then go any further because of the ocean. That's us. That's the French people. Pardon me, he says very gravely in the chat. Our forefathers were as good as ours. Don't speak ill of them. Right, Arthur, there you're right. Hateful and mindless, raped and robbed, mangled and witless, they were as good as we are. You can say that again. We never changed. Neither our sod, our masters, nor our opinions. And we're so slotted that it's no use. We were born, and that's what killed us. Soldiers be in charge, heroes for everyone else, taught monkeys naming of King Misery. He's our lord and master. When we misbehave, he tightens his grip. His fingers are around our neck. That makes it hard to talk. Gotta be careful if we want to eat. For nothing at all, it's not a life. There's love, Bartimore. Arthur, tell it. Love is the infinite just within reach of the fools. Have my dignity. You do. You're an anarchist, that's what you are. A wise guy. That's right, you wit. I am an anarchist. And to prove it, I've written a kind of prayer of social benefits. It'll bowl you over. Golden Wings. That's the title. And I recite, a god who counts in pennies. The desperate, sensual god who grunts like a pig. A pig with gold wings who falls and falls, always bellied up, ready for caresses. That's him, our master. Come and kiss me. You're a little peace and hold water, he says. I'm for the established order and I'm not interested in politics. What's more, the day my country asks me to shed my blood, it'll find me ready and no slack. That's what he said. It so happened that the war creeping up on us without our knowing it, and something's wrong with my wits. That short, animated discussion had tired me out. Besides, I was upset because the waiter who
sort of hold me up to her on a cocktail. Well, in the end, Arthur made up. Cleanly. We read about all everything. It's true, he says, to be considerate. Than all your... But the fact is, while sitting at it, pulling at doors with all might, you can't differ. Sing on amazing, full like man. What do we get? Nothing. Thrangs and misery, hards and harmless. Workers' day. Work, we call it. And the crummiest of the whole bits. We're down old, thing in pants, stink sweating our pulse off, and while up on deck in the chair, what do you do? Our matters having a fine time, beautiful pink and fumed when they're lap. Senseless, we're brought on deck, taking their topics and give us a spiel, I guess, folks. You know this wine war. Those dinkers in country number 2. We're going to put them in livers out. Let's go. We're betting we need a more. All the gal, let's you shout the deck drums. Long live number 1. So you'll be heard miles out. The man shouts loudest with metal and lollipop. Let's go, and if there's any that doesn't be killed at sea, he can get killed land and quicker. It's the way it is at, said him suddenly to listen easy. What's this? We should come marching past a cafe or sitting a regiment with the colonel front on a horse, being nice and homely, fine figure man. Enthusiasm lift me to my feet. I'll just go see if that's it is. Eyes out to heart. And off go to Scott double. Ferdinand, he's back. Don't be an ass. I suppose he was netted by the if my Harrison was having people around us. It hurt my feelings the way he was doing it, but that stopped him. I go right in. Here I am, I says to myself, and here I did. I just timed to call to Arthur. All right, you will see before we hit the corner. There I was with the regiment, marching and the current is bent. That's exactly how it happened. We marched a long time. There were screaming monsters that were all crowded civilians in their wives. Cheers on, bombarding with flowers from Cafe Harris's, railroad stations, for the churches. You never saw any patriots in all your life. And they were feeding me. It seemed to rain, and then there still fewer and fewer. not a safe cheer. One. Pretty sure it's no but us. All alone. Row after row. Music
It stopped. Come to think of it, I said to myself when I saw what was wrong. This is no fun anymore. Better try something else. I was about to go out. They quietly shut the gate behind us civilians. We were caught rats. He was dead too. At first I didn't. The blast carried him up the embankment and laid him on his side in the arms of the distant cavalryman. The courier was finished too. They were embracing each other for the moment and for all. But the cavalryman was gone. All he had no problem was a top neck, with it in his bubbling blood like him in a kettle. The girl's belly was wide, and he was making a nasty face about it. It must have hurt what happened. Tough for him. If he'd beat it, shooting started, it didn't have happened. All that tangled heat was bleak, useless. Shells still burst into the left of the scene. I'd had enough. I was glad to have a good pretext for making myself scarce. I hummed a tune, reeled like what been rowing along with your legs a while. Just one shed, I said to myself. Amazing how quick just one dog can clean things up. Could you believe it? I kept saying so. You believe it? There was nobody left at the end of the road. The jerk was gone. But that episode had taught me a lesson. To keep to the cover of trees. I was in a hurry back to our command post to see if anyone else's regiment had been killed in reconnaissance. There must be a good dodge, I said to myself, for getting imprisoned. Here and there in the field, a few pups and souls still clung to them. Maybe they're all dead, I thought. Seeing they refused to understand anything whatsoever, the best solution would be for them all to get killed instantly. The war was over and we'd go home. Maybe we'd reach across the Tallahassee in triumph, just one or two us. In my dream, strapping good fellows march behind the general. All the rest were dead like the colonel, like Brooks, like Van A, another bad, etc. Shower us with decorations and flowers. We'd march the Arc de Triomphe. We'd go to restaurants. They'd serve us free of charge. We'd never pay for anything anymore, never as long as we lived. We're heroes, we'd say as they brought the bill. Defend the party. That would do. We'd paint little French flags. The lady at the desk would refuse to take money from the hero. She'd even give it. With kicks thrown in and bottled out. Life would be lived. I was running, I noted my arms bleeding. Just a little. Far from a satisfied wound, a script, and a star-born. It was raining again. The fields landers oozed with dirty water. On time I didn't need oil, only the wind and a little of the sun. From time to time I couldn't tell from where a bullet gun flying merrily through the air in sunlight, looking for intent on killing there in the wilderness. Never again. Not if I'd another 100 years after walking the country. A solemn oath. Walking along, I remembered the ceremony before. Did it take place in a meadow at the foot of the hill? The colonel rang the regiment's booming voice. Go do it, boys! Go it, boys! Vive la France! When he had no imagination, I had no small fear. Do have an imagination? I was too much. That I think.
Colonel had never had any imagination. That was source of all his trouble, and above even more so. Was I the only man in the regiment with any emanation about the dead? I preferred my own career, but good comes late. 20 years, 30, maybe more. This death, they find dearly right. Eating Landers' mouth, my whole mouth looking fuller than full, split ears by a shell shock. A man's entitled to opinion about his own affairs. Which way, that was the case, should I do? Head? Back to the enemy? If the peas were to catch me roaming around, I knew whose was caught. They'd give me a dash trial that afternoon in some urban classroom. There were lots of classrooms where you'd play court-martial the way kids do when the teachers do. Non-coms seem flat-foot on bees standing in hammocks in front of the witnesses. In the morning they'd shoot. 12 plus 1. So what was the answer? And I thought Colonel again. Such a big man, best player who's had his mistake. If they exhibited him in a musical, walking till I saw him on bullets and shells, or he'd have filled the Ohio. He'd have shown Gregson, and he was a big hard time telling me. That's what those things do. My heart down. After hours and hours, just furtive walk. Finally caught sight of our minute clump of bonds. That was what I thought it was supposed to be. It belonged squadron to the bomb. Nobody killed. Every last one of them. I was the one being furious. The Colonel's dead, shouted the Plenty more colonels we came from. That extends beyond his teeth. There was only just there. What's more, his organized evil. All right, jerk. To find a replacement colonel, you can be picking up me, Don Fui, and Kerhoff here. 2 sacks each. The distribution point is behind the one you see over there. Let them give you a lot of things like yesterday. Try and get back or nightfall. So I hit the roading with the other two. That pissed me off. I'll never tell anyone after this. But see, it was no use keeping those swabs. A tragedy like what I'd just seen wasted on such things. It had happened too ago to capture their innocence. And to think that a week later they had given me more columns and might give me papers after the current way I'd seen them. To have the meatball regiment was distributed in a sunny field shaded by cherry trees parched by the on-sun. Nonsense and tent cloths spread out on the ground. There were pounds and pounds of guts, chunks of white or fat, disemboweled sheep, their organs every shoulder, whose intricate little rivets in the grass round about. A whole eye down the middle, hanging on tree. Four regimental football packing away, cursing and swearing and pulling choice morsels. The suckers were fighting like a nail over the imps, the special measures. Around them swarmed flies, such one sees only on occasions, and self-important musical little birds. Blood and morphine everywhere, all of this in a slush confluent puddle, looking for a painfully slow. And steps further on, last pigs already formed into butcher were certain respectable cuts. You rookie, you're the one made off with a tendon yesterday. Leaning against the tree, I had barely enough to honor that elementary duty with 2 or 3 lances before being overcome by an enormous earth vomit, which I did so hard that I passed out. They carried me to the outfit on the street. Naturally, they skipped my 2 boiled sacks. The chains too missing. I walked to one of the corporal ranks. The war wasn't over. Anything can happen, and I, in turn, became a corporal at the end of that same month of August. Many a time I was sent to headquarters with 5 member liaisons under General Vrcade. He was a little man. He didn't say much. At first sight, he seemed neither cruel or heroic. But it was safe to expect judgment. What he seemed to value most of all was his comfort. In fact, he thought of his comfort all the time, and even when we'd busy retreating more than a month, chew everybody out every new stopping us if his order hadn't found him a nice clean bed in the kitchen with all the modern appliances. This level of comfort gave our chief of staff trouble. The general's domestic requirements got a nerve, especially since himself, yellow, gastritic, and the extreme and constipated, wasn't the least bit interested in food. But he had eat his soft-boiled eggs at the general's table all the same and listened on that occasion to his complaint. The things a soldier had put up with. But I couldn't sorry for him, because an officer, he was a great swan. For yourself. After a whole day spent dragging ourselves uphill, down blade, carrots and clover, we finally stopped so the general could sleep somewhere. We found a quiet shell village where no boats had been billeted, or if they'd been, they'd have to mount in a hurry. We'd throw them out if they'd already seen their rifles and just have to spend the night open. The village was reserved for the jail staff, its horse, its mess, its beach, and not for that state major. The bastard name was Pinson. Maybe Pinson. If they killed him off now, then it wasn't. But at the time talking about, Pinson was distinctly alive. Every evening he'd send for us liaison men and a good chewing out, keep us on our toes, and fire us with enthusiasm. Then send us all over the place, after running errands for the general. Dismount. Dismount again. And more of the same, carrying his oars in all directions. They just as well as drowned. It would have been convenient for everyone. Dismiss! Yeah. Get back regiments and on the double. Where is the red servant we had? At Barbie. Where's Barbie? Over there! Over there where he pointed. There'd be nothing darkness, except anywhere else. An enormous distance that swallowed the road 2 steps at us. Only a little sliver of road up the size of your tongue was spared. This being of it was at the end of the trot. To find his being you'd have had to sacrifice at least a squadron of men once more, and I wasn't at all. I didn't see any reason to break. So recently I had the desire that anyone to find his being. The situation, which incidentally was guesswork as far as he was concerned. Maybe they could make me go into suicide if they yet. But either you have me or you don't. I knew only one thing about that blast, which was so dense you had the impression that if you stretched out arm a little way from your shoulder you'd never see it. That one thing absolutely certain, namely, that it was full of a sidal impulse. As soon as that Mount Major quaked to send us to death. Something that came up at sundown. We'd a bit of passive resistance. We had learned not to understand. We'd tried to root in that cold little village. But we finally couldn't see trees. We had ourselves to go away and die. The gems died. From then on, it was all a block. Sometimes bind Barbie and the regiment, and sometimes we wouldn't. We found it mostly by mistake, because the squadrons obviously started shooting us. So naturally, bands would be recognized, and usually the night during